She's back, my beautiful daughter, Carly, all 21 years of her, thriving and embracing the wildness of change and riding the wave so elegantly. Gather round and join our mother-daughter backyard conversation. Honor yourself, celebrate your strength, empower your transformation with your Yin Care. This is the Yin Care Podcast, and I'm your host, Margaret Jacobson, the Mother Rising. When our sensitive tissues are off, everything is off. That's one of the many reasons I absolutely love Yin Care's Herbal Wash. This incredible Taoist formula gently nudges the vaginal microbiome back into balance. Not to mention, it feels amazing. So get your hands on some Yin Care's Herbal Wash today. That's YINCARE.com. Restore, rejuvenate, and refresh with Yin Care. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Yin Care Podcast. I'll be your host, Margaret Jacobson, the Mother Rising, and I am so excited to once again share with you my beautiful daughter, Carly Schultz. If you haven't yet had the opportunity to meet Carly, please be sure to go back and listen to episode 36, where you'll get to meet her for the very first time. We titled this episode Embracing Change, and so much has changed for her over the last 6 months. And we both feel it's so critical to embrace our changes and welcome in the new aspects of who we are and what we are learning. As you listen, we would love to hear your comments or see any future questions you may have for us separately or together as mother and daughter. Please be sure to comment below the video if you're watching, or drop us a comment in the Yin Care Contact Us form over at yincare.com. It's my deepest wish that you find gems here that will ignite you no matter where you are on your health creation journey. Let the spark of remembering who you are and how truly powerful you are allow you to come more deeply into your own womb wisdom. If you find this episode helpful or know anyone else who would benefit, be sure to share it with others, or for heaven's sake, don't forget to like, subscribe, and click on the notifications on our channels. We would love to have you more engaged with us in that way. It would be wonderful. Be sure to head over also to yincare.com and sign up for the Womb Empowerments and our newsletter, all in the same one. It's the first pop-up that you'll see. And stay tuned at the end, where I will be announcing this week our new line of Yin Care products. And with that, here is the episode for your watching or listening pleasure. Okay. Okay.
It's like...
I'm not editing that out. I'm just kidding. All right. Okay, let's just welcome everybody back to Conversations with Carly. I'm Margaret Jacobson, the Mother Rising, and this is the Yin Care Podcast in our special Aspen Fairy Forest.
Fairy Forest.
This is my very special place where I usually come sit, but we put up a couple chairs here so we can enjoy our time together. And we're going to have, Carly's made some tea. She's got a special tea set. Shout out to
Jesse's Tea House.
Jesse's Tea House. We can hashtag that in the...
I'd love a discount.
Jesse, we need a discount over here. We're going to start. We decided we wanted to draw some cards. Carly had this idea. And we've got today, you want to show everybody the deck?
The Starseed deck.
The Starseed deck. So those of you who are unfamiliar with star seeds, this is the well, 53 card deck. We'll go into that on another episode. We've got an upcoming episode with Z Earth Star Healer, and we can discuss the star seeds in that. But Carly got me this deck for Christmas. And yeah, let's go ahead and pick some cards, see what the day has to unfold.
Okay. see.
And we do have our cat Jocko in the background. She's
somewhere
annoying the robins. Yeah, we had a sad incident. We had the robin family that decided to grace this beautiful property, had 3 little robin babies, and the day that they within the first few days of them being fledglings out wandering about, our beautiful cat Jocko took one of them. And so that was really sad. So that little one is buried right here under this aspen tree, but the robin is very protective. We've sort of tested. I don't think you can hear her, but she's barking up a storm right now, knowing that Jocko's nearby. So, all right. You want to go ahead and pick?
Yeah, sure.
Cool.
Find one here. I got the Great Severing. Mars energy, anger, conflict, softening to love.
Ooh. I was like, the first part didn't sound great, but like the softening, I was like, that does not bode well.
Great start for today.
I like the softening to love. You want to read it?
Yeah, let's see what
the nice thing about these is they're kind of short.
Yeah.
So
it's defined. Okay. This is a shadow card, one that may feel confrontational. Don't be afraid. It's here to bring to the surface anything that's standing in the way of letting love in. The warring planet of Mars is our constant reminder that it's important to soften, forgive, and find our way back to love. There are many things in the human experience that make it difficult for our heart and soul to stay open to the never-ending source of love. We're all wounded, and our unconscious wounds inflict wounds on others. It can feel like a never-ending dance we can never escape. If we aren't careful, before long, we'll see the world as a scary, dangerous place where fear and anxiety roam free. If this card surfaces, it could be for 2 reasons. Firstly, for you to acknowledge the difficult emotions, situations, conflicts, wounds, and fears that are causing you pain and anxiety. And secondly, for you to find your way back to love. When we're hurt, it's normal to close off our heart to the world, to let the pain experience confirm the agony of separation in earthly life. Soften and find your way back to love. Anyway, when fear, anxiety, and paranoia paralyze you, it's normal to want to hide away from others and the world. Come out of your cave and soften your heart anyway. We're all innocent children spinning our way around the world. Find a way to see the innocence in all people, especially yourself. And then it gives me a starseed soul inquiry. How are you cutting yourself off from love? How can you soften toward those who have hurt you?
are you feeling? How does that resonate for you? I'm just curious.
I feel like it does resonate. I feel like it's a good reminder. I think that it's like, I'm feeling soft this morning.
You are. We had like a huge ordeal trying to set up these mics, and I'm normally super calm. And Carl and I was losing my cool. And Carly can be, but not always, obviously, because she so came through for me. I so needed someone to just ground me, and well, that's cool.
It worked.
That is a good one.
I think
you did a great job softening to love this morning.
Thank you.
All right, let's leave this out. I'll leave that here.
Okay,
and then I'll take a turn.
Yeah. And
let's see.
Pour some tea.
All right, let's have a first.
We're doing a green.
Okay.
Green tea.
The snails or which one? Okay. Green snails. So shout out not to Jessie. I think these were our teas.
Yes.
But
tea
the tea
is not
set
from Jessie.
is from Jessie, which is cool. Tell them about it while I draw a card.
Yeah, it's pretty cool because it's has a little filter inside of it, so you can do loose leaf, and then it stacks onto each other and closes up into a mini thing, so I can take it wherever I go. And I just bring hot water in my thermos, and it's all good to go.
And we did it yesterday on our hike.
Yeah, it's fun to do on a hike. It's fun to have fresh, hot tea.
Okay, I got my card here. Star family, you're part of Team of Souls. Call and support. If you only knew how funny this is to Carly, because I am so into my starseed and my starseed family.
Can I see it?
Yeah, I'm going to read it. What does it have a number, or is it just under alphabetical?
It's alphabetical. So
okay.
S.
Okay. Star family. Let's see. Oh, there's star brothers. There's star ancestors. Star family. You're part of a team of souls. Call and support. At some stage, we were each a part of a soul cluster. This is a great explanation, by the way. A gathering of souls who broke away from one another to experience themselves individually. Those who are part of your soul cluster are part of your star family. Your star family are those souls who are cut from a similar cosmic cloth. You haven't just experienced lifetimes together. Your souls were once actually one. It's very common for star family members to incarnate at similar times, to work with anchoring a similar frequency of light, and to cross paths with each other. You know that someone is part of your star family when you feel like you know and remember them from the moment you meet. Oh, you're part of my star family for sure. They feel instantly familiar and comfortable. Time both passes quickly and stretches when you're with them. You feel more yourself with them than with anyone else. It can sometimes feel like looking in the mirror, because in a way you are. Often you'll go out of your way to help those in your star family, instinctively knowing it's part of your path. When a star family member dies, you feel it very deeply, regardless of how long you knew them. A certain soul mourning or soul breaking occurs. Think about the people in your life who do you feel is part of your star family? If this card comes up in a spread, it's likely that you've met someone who is part of your star family, or you're about to. And the star seed soul inquiry is, who do you think is from the same star family as you? How can you call upon them for support? And that is a great one, because I've been really coming into, if you do read the Starfire Wisdom, Teachings of Adamantine Diamond Consciousness, there's a part about the firebrand and the phoenix. And I have had a bazillion pheasants cross the road or come on the property lately. And also it's something about like just the frequency of voice and learning to activate my voice and singing and such.
The robins
are all related. And the robins coming into.
They're singing right now.
Yeah.
They're screaming right now.
They're screaming. Yeah. But, anyway, so the firebrand star seed family is definitely part of who I am. And you've been having activations with butterflies and winged ones, as well. And Luma, who we've interviewed and we both know and love because we've accessed her Oracle Pegasus support. She's definitely part of it. So I don't know. And honestly, anyone who's watching this is probably drawn in some way into our star family. So welcome into our star family for the moment. Here we are. All right. You start drinking. Let me have a sip. How is
ready. It's a little oversteeped, but it's good.
That's okay. We'll power through, or we can toss this one and do another one. That's the beauty of it, right? Did you toss yours?
No, I drank mine.
Okay, cool.
But you can. I don't mind.
I'm good. Well, awesome. So we're going to get started here. So Carly was on the show in December during your winter break.
Yeah.
And we were chatting about all of the things that kind of happened to you in your life, kind of post high school, leading into your studies in fashion design and interior design. And now you're going into your senior year. You'll probably have an extra a full year. Yeah. An extra full year.
I'm going to be a super senior.
Yeah. Because you're doing this double major.
Yeah.
And nobody's ever done that before.
And I'm doing 4 classes a semester.
Yeah. So because as you may recall, she toned it down.
Yeah. Instead of 5, I'm doing 4 classes per semester because.
To maintain your sanity.
Yeah.
You're yin caring.
It's my yin care.
Yeah.
4 classes.
So tell us how that's been since the last time we chatted, because you're on break again.
Yes. Yeah.
Another break.
Again. It's been good. It's been changing a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the last time we talked, we were just re-listening to the last podcast, and it was like a lot of my routine and what I was doing, and it was super structured, and I was just like hearing all of these different things that I was doing in my life that I don't do anymore.
That's so great.
So I think that this time has been a lot of just transformation for me, of moving from doing and then also going into break. And now I'm barely working at all. I have a small job, but I only work a few hours a week, and I don't have anything else that I need to do.
She is doing a training for her next job, but to backpedal on that, she has worked her booty off, and we really don't take vacations because her dad and I own the businesses that we run, and we just sort of integrate our lives around that. And so we just haven't done that. And so when she hit this break and she needed to release from the previous job working at this secondhand clothing store, I was like, I think you should at least take a break through 4th of July weekend because you haven't had any downtime.
Right.
And you just need that time to recuperate, right?
Totally. No, I definitely am like, it's weird. I felt like I needed to have this break, but it's also, almost sneezed. It's difficult to take a break after working so hard and being so on top of things. And if you go back and watch that podcast, it was like, you can tell that I was very much in a state of just doing all of the things.
Yeah.
And now I'm the opposite of that. I know I need a break, but I'm still getting used to it after a month or more of having it.
Yeah. But a couple things on that. One is that, yes, you were focused and organized and all of that kind of stuff. And one thing we talked about when we went on a hike yesterday was that something that we think is really important for everybody to realize, whether you're Carly's age or my age, people oftentimes get really hooked into who they are, like, and letting it define everything about them, as opposed to really allowing for the organic flow of creative development in your journey in life. Yeah, the change, the evolution.
Yeah, I definitely feel like that was something that I wanted to talk about today, because I have had so much of that where there was a point where it was like, I'm going to keep doing all of these things. I'm going to keep doing my meal prep, and I'm going to keep having the same routine. I'm going to keep waking up at the same time every day and going to bed at the same time every day and stay in this job and do all of these things. And I kept doing it. And then there was the end point of that period was, I'm doing this because I have already committed to it, not because it's what I need to be doing. And when I realized that that's why I was doing it, I was like, oh, I need to stop doing this. This is not what is serving me right now anymore.
Right.
And so then there was this switch of like, okay, I'm not on this routine anymore. In fact, I don't really have much of a routine right now. And that kind of started going, I was noticing it at the end of this last semester, and it just started to just like, okay, it's going downhill, to going downhill, to going downhill. Like the routine is not working anymore, and I know that, and I can't keep doing this, and I just need to finish the semester and get through it. And then after that, I was like, okay, now I'm just gonna like not try to do anything.
Right. But the beauty of it is that you started going to the yoga classes at school.
Right. And I did start to like incorporate other things that, like you're saying, like Tai Chi and yoga, that were not related to my usual routine of do, but related to, oh, you need to actively, consciously, and intentionally relax.
Right. But also, in addition to that, you were working a lot of hours at the secondhand store, and that became a challenge not necessarily. I mean, you were pretty organized about it, but the environment just wasn't suiting you. Right. But at the same time, like simultaneously, a yoga instructor position opened up at the school, at the university. Yeah. And so that really piqued your interest because you were enjoying the yoga classes.
That sounds like a good idea.
And then the teacher said, basically, you should apply now, right? Because they're hiring now for next year.
Yeah. And I was just going to wait until I did like a certification over the summer, but they hired me on. So now I just get to shadow classes and learn.
And you're also taking the certification. Right. That is something you are doing.
Yeah. And that's all online and self-paced, which is totally different from school.
Right. And anyone who is out there and thinking, well, you know, it's so much better to do it in person, that obviously, I hope you know, crossed her mind, and she was actively seeking that. But
yes, there weren't any options that aligned with what I needed. So.
And the schedule and the location.
Like I said, I'm shadowing classes in person.
Right.
Multiple different instructors and going to different classes at different studios.
Yeah.
And I'm just kind of taking it all in. I'd love to do in-person trainings in the future.
Yeah, we will. And we were talking about
we're
together.
In Wyoming, and there aren't a lot of in-person training options here. Exactly. And so I'm doing a certification through Yoga Renew, which is like a international online program.
And you've been super enjoying it.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool.
It's cool.
That's awesome. And so, the other thing that that you also started, that I think we had mostly advertised, I think I sent out an email to the regular Yin Care population, but, the fertility awareness method, offered by Veronica Rickson, who does the menstrual calendar journal that we sell on Yin Care. Carly is signed up to do that fertility awareness method class. So that's just something else that you'll be cruising through a little bit this summer, I think, right?
Yeah, I haven't gotten into it yet.
Yeah.
But
so that's what's the haps for the summer, huh?
Yeah.
And we got to spend time together. That was really important.
Totally.
So Carly came here just on the 3rd of July.
Thursday.
Yeah. And it is now Monday, which is, let's see, the 7th of July. Here we are recording on the 7th of July. And we had a fabulous few days going hiking. We did a sauna in our little barrel sauna that's over here in the backyard.
Yeah.
We drew cards. We, had
river time.
We got to jump in the river. We had a great 4th of July. We everything. We just hung out on the back porch and then went to the river when we saw the storm coming in off the mountains, and we were
Lightning
like, oh my God, we better hurry if we want to go jump in the river. So we ran down to the river, jumped in, came back here, and then
got in the hot tub.
Did we go right? We didn't go right away because it started pouring. I think we sat out on the deck first.
Yeah. Then we went.
And then we sat in the hot tub, and then her brother, Maury, came over he got off work late. So right at 11:30, and the whole town lights up with fireworks. Yeah. So we lit off some fireworks here, which was super fun, of course, because Maury's super into it. So he makes it fun. I don't think Carly and I were sort of like, we could go either. And it ended up being fun. And there were a couple funny moments. Yeah. Couple close calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. The things that everybody out there that's saying, I can't believe you light off fireworks.
No risk, no reward.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But we've got a video to prove the insanity of the moment. So that's what counts. Maybe we can splice that into this. We'll see. Oh my God. Anyway. Yeah. So let's talk about fashion. Let's talk about all the changes that happened for you.
Okay.
since the last time we talked, because you were in a very, very conservative mode about your fashion.
Yeah.
What's going on in that front these days?
Well, I'm not there anymore. I still am super interested in natural fibers just as much. But I
like my Aru sweater that I'm wearing, just,
well,
in case you're not familiar with
I think I'm wearing cotton today.
Aru woolen products. You can check them out on the affiliate store on yincare.com. They're amazing. They have a whole new palette of colors. Carry on. Shameless plug for Aru, because we love Zoe Daly.
I am not really as interested in covering myself up. I'm not really in a phase of needing to have that anymore. And I mean, it's also summer. And when we last talked, it was the middle of winter.
Right, that's true.
So there's that.
And your hair's growing back too.
Yeah, I am. I'm kind of growing it. It's still a little messy.
No way, it looks awesome.
I did a lot of work on it with, this morning.
Did you? It's looking very nice.
It was hard.
Really?
It was sticking up in all of the wrong places.
I never would have known.
I'm glad.
It looks really great.
But I'm growing it into like a pixie cut. So we're not in the bald phase anymore. And I just don't feel like hiding my self anymore from anyone.
Do you feel like that? I mean, it's interesting. It's coinciding with so many things, like summertime, like you said, the fact that your hair is growing back. I mean, there's a lot of pieces of this that kind of lead into you feeling potentially less vulnerable, right? Like your bald head is now covered. You're not protecting yourself from winter. You know what I mean? Like,
I think that there's like, I do love to have that option to just cover everything up, when I want to. And I think that it's helpful in some times to just block yourself off from everything and everyone in that way. Just like not giving them any of you.
Right.
But I just don't feel like I need that.
Yeah.
I don't I want to feel, I think that there are some things that are super different in that there are times when I do not want to show like when we went to the parade.
Right.
I think that's a good example of like, we went to the 4th of July parade, and in past years, and you can see when you go to these sorts of things, people love to show off.
Oh yeah.
They love to, it's a fun to
Lander, Wyoming, 4th of July parade. It's insane. Let's explain that to people.
So you'll see people wearing some crazy stuff, and a lot of people like to show off a lot of skin.
But there's no drinking restrictions.
Yeah.
There's open containers, and it starts in the morning and it goes all day.
Yeah. So there's clothes that incorporate drinking.
Right. Exactly.
But a lot of people just like to show everything off. It's the summer. They don't always get that option. I think that's one thing that's nice. Is like, it
ain't California.
Fun, but yeah, it's fun. It's super fun to be able to wear things that just weren't an option. And sometimes it's just fun to try things out. That's what I'm noticing too. It's like, before I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm conserving my energy for what I want to do, which is design, and everything's focused around design. And that's one thing that's changed. That's big, is that not everything is about design. I feel like when we did our first call, it was like, everything I do is for this.
Right.
Taking care of myself is for this. And so I kind of lost a lot of that feeling of like, I need to take care of myself and I need to do all of these things when I went to summer break, because I didn't have design anymore. So I wasn't doing all of these things for design. I didn't have a reason to do everything.
Ah, right.
And so my reason, and you can hear me go back in the podcast and listen, my reason was like, not only, I think I said something like, I need to take care of myself in order to fuel this. And it was like my child. And it is like, you know, still true.
Yeah, for sure.
But also true that that not everything's about design. And
design meaning like your school, your education.
Yeah.
Not necessarily just what design is in your life, but like the fact that you're in school studying this and this is a pursuit of yours, right?
Yeah. I think really it was though that my purpose in everything that I did was design and not necessarily school.
Like designing, you're like organizing,
being creative, and like, just it was centered around projects that happened to be for school, but it wasn't because of grades, and you know, it was because I wanted to make beautiful things, And I think one of the things that I wanted to mention too is like that belief is very much like goes along with a lot of what society fuels us with, is that like you have to have a purpose outside of yourself, outside of just existing, of like you need to be passionate about something, and you need to go all in, and everything you do has to be about that, and so that's how I felt, and it doesn't make it any less important when I say that not everything is about it, but it's true. It's like, I want to spend time with family, and family is like just as important, if not more important, you know, and I want to have friends and spend time with friends, and I want to go outside, and I want to do yoga. And all of this stuff doesn't make design less important. But it is, there's a bigger picture.
Totally.
But one of the other things is that belief, I think I see it like when I was watching, there's this, the New Look. Did you watch that? The Dior, Christian Dior.
Oh yeah.
You did, right?
Yeah.
I watched that too. And he talks about like how it's really fun to watch, and I really was resonating with it because he's like, everything he does is about his work and what he does, and he made some really amazing stuff, but you can tell that it's like, I think a lot of designers, or whatever you're passionate about, people who are that passionate, they end up doing probably really well in the industry, and if they didn't have design or whatever they do, if they had to take a break from it, you know, things would go terribly wrong for them.
Exactly. And they do show that. Like, And so like people who do amazing things often like, you know, they can get into pretty dark places when they aren't. And that's so finding the balance and creating a life. And I think it just speaks to our society and the challenges that people have, just financial challenges, and being beholden to a job and needing that to sustain and they aren't necessarily in charge of their work environment because they're employed by somebody else. And so what I love about what you're doing is that you're really bringing in what I would call the codes into your, you know, your whole frequency being, as far as understanding that there is abundance and prosperity in that you're able to relax into this moment in time and allow your body to relax. And I'm not saying you're totally able to relax, because I know that this is like a process of unwinding that, is like that feeling of, I should go do this. And you were just saying, like, when you're inside for too long, you're always feeling like you've got to do X, Y, or Z. Yeah. But as soon as you get yourself outside in nature,
I'm just sitting there.
It's like,
I can just consume with my eyes.
and you feel relaxed and with purpose, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's wonderful that you're allowing yourself to just wave through this process and figure out what that means for you, you know?
And I think one thing that is important, and I know that making a career or a passion or an interest like your entire life, for me, and I think for a lot of people, is not the best way to do it. But I don't really know what the best way to do it is. So that's what I'm kind of figuring out, is that, like, it's also, you know, school is weird because you have a concentrated amount of time where you do this thing, and then you have a time where you do none of it.
Right, exactly.
And so if it were more balanced, like, oh, I'm going to do 3 days of this and 4 days of this, or, you know, or even like part of the day this and part of the day this, instead of all at once.
Right.
I'm sure it would be different, but it is weird not doing it at all.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of the time.
So when you started though this summer, like we had also talked last time about your just love of creativity. And you did start making that lovely necklace that you are wearing and some other jewelry projects, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm like working on I have a lot of hobbies. It can be overwhelming to to choose one.
Right, for sure.
So,
but you felt like inclined to pursue, I don't know body jewelry?
Yeah.
Or like not just necklaces and bracelets, but other body jewelry, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I want to make like all sorts of different kinds of jewelry that wrap around the body. And crystals and different things.
Yeah. That's awesome. Okay, let's talk about your diet, because we talked a lot about that before, and that is, you've had some big breakthroughs in learning about your food. What I find inspiration. I always find inspirational, not just because it's my daughter, but extra cool, right? My star fam. You know, that she is taking on a new way to approach your diet and cooking and everything. Yeah. And so the Ayurvedic teachings are different, obviously, but similar to Chinese medicine. And I am no expert, but it does take into consideration like your body type, obviously, the seasons, and you're looking at
your location,
food colors, and textures, tastes.
Yeah. I find all of this very interesting, and I would love to explore it more.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm just beginning, but I'm just beginning in a lot of places too.
But it's added an extra dimensionality to your eating and to also your cooking. Like you've come up with new recipes. It's been inspirational in a lot. It has been a place of creativity in a lot of ways, because it's given you like a whole new palette of things to try and play with.
I'm trying out new things for sure. I don't know what is good and what is not good yet. Right. But it's a new realm of possibilities to explore. So it's kind of fun to just try different foods out. I'm learning more about how my body acts, how it acts in the summer. And I think the biggest thing being not necessarily a diet, although diet, I guess I'm kind of just beginning to get into. I don't really understand all of it yet, but lifestyle as far as before. I think when it was before, like last summer, I was at the end of the summer, I would walk up this hill and see the sunrise every morning. So like 5:30 in the morning when the sun would come up in late summer, and then 6, But it was super transformative for me because it was like, I'm getting up to meet the sun every morning and I'm doing this. And that was part of my motivation of like that energy of waking up and seeing the sun it's just like powerful to see the first of it and get that energy in. And it just motivated so much work that I did that was awesome.
Yeah.
But now as much as I love the sun and love to take it in, I also notice that it can be way too much for me. Like, in this relaxing phase of like but learning to rest, the sun is not what I need.
I love what you just said, learning to rest. Yeah. Like, I think everybody needs the learning to rest mode. It's not easy. And Carly knows, like, I spent so much time when she was in her junior year and then senior year in high school, and we had just moved here, and I was so exhausted from having done this weird commute and everything. She would leave for school and I would automatically have to lay down on the couch. And plus I was going through a shift hormonally. And so I would just have to take a nap. And you're like, it's okay, Mom. You should just do that. Like, it's okay. She just so graciously gave me permission.
It's easier to say,
I know,
say it to someone else. Than
I know, exactly. But I so needed, and she really, and not that like she even knew all of the things that were going on. And I knew that because she was younger and she didn't know. She was in her own life, in her own reality, but hearing her, at least having someone say that to me, gave me permission to just be like, okay, it's okay. And it's only for this short amount of time. And I'm going to get back up again and do my work or whatever. Totally. But yeah, learning to rest is powerful.
Yeah.
I love that. We should have a learning to rest course or something.
Yeah.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I'd take that.
How many of you would sign up for that? Comment below. Hashtag learning to rest.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. One of those things that I guess I was telling the story about, like how I'd go to see the sun. And one of the things that, relating back to Ayurveda, was that it is a lifestyle thing. It's not just a diet thing.
Right.
And one of the things that I was starting to understand on all levels was like, it's summer. I'm Pitta dosha. That's my strongest. Was that I have a lot of fire, a lot of passion. Right. And heat. And I have fast metabolism, and I'm very creative, and it's very much
odd on for the description.
Some people are very spread out of the different percentages, which is why this system works, right? Is that everyone's different, right? But I'm very much one of them. So, getting up to go see the sun in the summer and eating spicy food doesn't make sense, right? And before it did, I think it was just something that was helpful for me to really get me moving and just do a lot. Right. It was very motivational. Right. But now it's like, okay, I don't need that. In fact, I need the opposite of that. Right. So now I'll get up and I'll go down to the river and sit by the water. Yeah. And I still like the sun and I like to sit in the sun, but I'm more likely to probably choose a spot in the shade when it's sunny out. And well, you also have fair skin too, yeah, but even so, like, I have a lot of my life said I just love sitting in the sun, and now I'm like, that's one thing that's also changed. I don't love that anymore. I like the sun, and I like sometimes to lay in the sun, but I also am learning to like the shade more. Right. Well, it can get really hot and dry too, which is very pleasant in the shade here. Yeah. It's a different climate. But yeah, sitting by the river is also one thing that is like water calms fire. So just even looking and consuming with my eyes of like the water. It's a very different experience from looking at the sun and starting your day with the sun.
Yeah.
And I'm going in water more this summer than I was.
Yeah.
So I think that's the biggest shift as far as Ayurveda is that learning to embrace fire feeds off of fire. So it makes sense that I liked the sun. It makes sense that I liked the sun because I want more of that, you know?
Right.
But so it's weird for me to like want more of not that.
Right. So it's a good exploration.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And I just want to add that, like, you know, Carly and I are super close. Obviously, I think you're going to gather that. But a lot of that has been we're in touch all the time on the phone. Like, most mornings we're on the phone together, reconnecting. And I just want to share with other mothers and daughters, like, she's very respectful. Like, if I have something that I need to do and she's called and she's like, just tell me, like, I'm, you know, and she'll obviously tell me if she really needs to talk, but I really honor the fact that she just turned 21. So congratulations. But that during this time, it's very formative. And so being available as her mom is crucial. Like, having these conversations, they may seem silly, and it may seem like, if from an outsider's perspective, even Daniel, you know, I think sometimes he'll wonder, like, what the heck could they possibly be talking about again? Like,
how do you still have things to talk about?
Yeah.
You talk every day.
But there's always something that like unfolds for us. And it's honestly like, there's so much growth for me too. And Carly and I always joke like that I might have said this on the first podcast, but we didn't get to it when we were listening. But, you know, the joke that I have is that I had to birth my own best friend, you know, and truly, like, we will always have this mother-daughter relationship. I always say maybe someday we'll grow out of it. Carly's like, no, never going to happen. But it really has taken on like a sister.
In another life.
That's true. In another life, you might be my mom. But it really has taken on like a sisterly, you know, up-leveling, I would say. Like, I feel like we're both in our own space of divine priestesshood, and we learn from each other. And a big epiphany that I had, that I was sharing with Carly, was just related to my birth of Carly. And this is something I'll probably share in other podcasts as I get more into sharing what I have to offer around radical birth keeping and birth reclamation, debriefing, post-birth services. But I experienced a very, very traumatic cesarean birth with my first one, with Carly's oldest brother, Eddie, and then a better, you know, situation with Maury, but it was still very controlled and hospital oriented, even though there was a midwife. And then the last one was like, Carly and I just were really working together. I just had this beautiful space to really allow the birth to happen. I had so much confidence in my body, and I feel like she brought that to me, especially in bringing me the power that I needed to know that I could do that. And therefore, I then had strength to deal with a really terrible divorce.
Anything.
A lot of different things that ended up coming our way. And I think probably there was some power that went into you too, because you as a young girl had to deal with, we had to be separated during the divorce. And that was really hard.
Yeah.
So knowing that like we had come through that really powerful birth portal together, I think really set us up for this, you know, a way for us to just step into our own empowerment of ourselves. And so that was, anyway, these conversations are just really profound to keep going and having with each other.
Yeah.
Just wanted to throw that in there too, for all the other mamas and daughters out there that are Cause and I will say, like, sometimes I will be on the call and thinking, oh my God, I've got to do this, this, that, and the other. And then bringing myself back in and realizing, like, this is foundational. Like, this is so important. Like, I need to be here, and just present in the conversation, because something is really going to shift here.
Mothering's not over.
I think you do the same thing though, too. Sometimes you get annoyed and you'll stick with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. High five.
Nice.
But we had some other cool stuff that happened this summer too. Like there was a lot of opening and conversation between us about sexuality, which I think was just added a whole new dimension to our relationship, and just being able to share a lot of what lovemaking and sexuality is. And, not that we have to go into everything here for privacy purposes, but I think that's really a magical, beautiful space,
Yeah, I felt like there was a lot of, like, for me, I hadn't always felt comfortable discussing with you, with anyone, just how I felt around those topics of intimacy.
Right.
And I remember us talking before when I was younger about certain things, and I felt good talking about them, but hadn't had many experiences.
Right.
So having had more experiences, I feel more comfortable to talk about those things, And there was a time where it was like, I'm having these experiences and I don't feel comfortable talking about them yet. And now it's like, we can have these conversations. I feel like I've had more, I don't feel like I know, I have had more conversations with friends, and just people around me about, like, all sorts of different things. And it's been really fun to talk to people about intimacy, because they don't get to talk about it.
Yeah, actually,
they love talking about it. When they do get to it's like, oh, we get to talk about something that I don't usually get to talk about. It gives me an opportunity to diffuse the tension of, like, I can't say this to this person, I can't say this to this person. Oh, you're telling me something? Then I get to tell you this, Right. It's like vulnerability.
There was a really good conversation you shared with me that you were talking about with some young women. I can't remember how it started, but porn got brought up.
Like, we were talking
about. Will you share that? Because I think that's really important. Like, this is something that, like, I didn't realize was going on. Can you share?
Yeah. Well, okay. I'll give some context. We were talking about just, like, I was mentioning how in my self-pleasure practice, in having developed that, I had learned a lot that helped me in intimate relations with other people.
Right.
And so we were talking about self-pleasure, and one of the girls had mentioned that she enjoyed watching porn, and I told you this, and she was kind of like, what?
What? I know.
Seriously? And I was like, yeah, like, actually, it's more common than you think. Actually, a lot of young women and women enjoy it.
I know. So this was funny, because I was telling her, like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, I felt like a terrible mom. Like, I had not talked to her about it. I hadn't done anything, because I had totally focused on the brothers. Like, I just assumed the boys were, like, watching it, right. Like, or accessing it somehow. And I hadn't even thought that, like, this was, like, something that young women would do. It was so not in my realm. Like, so anyway, it was funny.
It's surprising. Yeah. That was one thing that we talked about, was, like, just that like, women want to have a connection to their sexuality, and often the only option that they know of is watching porn.
It's terrible.
And so, like, we've had, like when I was talking to this other woman about it, she was like, I like to watch, and I didn't say, oh, that's I don't know if I think it's so terrible, only because it's such a vulnerable place,
right,
for you to say that that's terrible.
Oh yeah, no, I would never do that either. No.
Well, no, I know, but even just like when I'm thinking about like, is that a bad thing? Like, you know, should this be something that we don't do? You know, I don't watch porn because it doesn't feel very intentional. I also don't really like, I don't know, it's not, I have other practices that are more fun.
Disconnected is what bothers me.
But like the world is rather disconnected.
Well, and so it's a reflection. It's a reflection of that. And it's
like fast fashion.
Really. Yeah. It's bad. Yeah, that's true.
It's like watching reels.
Yeah.
Like short videos.
Right.
Like short form content. It's the same thing.
All of it is bad. Is our kitty? Hi, Jocko. We might have a little leopard join us. Let's see if she comes through. I love moving through the day, honoring all of who I am as a woman. That can be a challenge when imbalances such as damp heat, or toxic heat rear their ugly head vaginally, and issues such as yeast infections, bacterial vaginosis, and even HPV creep in. When our sensitive tissues are off, everything is off. All the tools I may have in my repertoire to ground and center go out the window, and I feel myself coming slightly unglued, to say the least. Everything is so incredibly uncomfortable. But I was tired of finding product after product that completely obliterated all of a woman's microbiome, and honestly was worried for all the other strange but natural culinary items I was testing out inside my vaginal cavity. It seemed wrong to kill all the bacteria off and then work to build a healthy vaginal microbiome back up again. That's one of the many reasons I absolutely love Yin Care's herbal wash. Research at the universities in China showed at the Petri dish level that at a 10 to 12% dilution, Yin Care's herbal wash would lyse all yeast cells and other bacteria while still allowing lactobacilli to continue to proliferate. This incredible Taoist formula gently nudges the vaginal microbiome back into balance. Not to mention, it feels amazing. Its cooling properties not only cool the very upset sensitive tissues, but cools my head and allows me to come back into my body and ground into my life and purpose once again. If you've never used our wash and you plan to use it vaginally, be sure you purchase the combo pack that includes both the 180 ml bottle of Yin Care's herbal wash and the 100 ml vaginal applicator. We now sell the bottle in two sizes, 100 ml and 180 ml bottles. So head on over to yincare.com. That's yincare.com. And by the way, Yin Care's herbal wash feels excellent after some rather hot and heavy lovemaking, or even at a less sexier time, but incredibly important, postpartum. Yin Care's herbal wash is excellent for postpartum care to cool things off, while also offering antimicrobial and antibacterial properties. So get your hands on some Yin Care's herbal wash today. Restore, rejuvenate, and refresh with Yin Care. I don't know if you'll see her. Come over here. You come see. You're right in the center. How cute are you? Oh, she's going to give a little scratch for us. Anyway, you know, I would never, of course, I have 100% compassion for people that are stuck in a porn cycle, like loop, basically, or that have been exposed to it and used it. You know, anyone, to be honest with you, because it naturally, the body knows what it's meant to do. And we are so disconnected from all of that and how we teach people and raise our kids and act within our culture that like there's...
I want to say, like, I totally agree. There are things that the body knows how to do, but there's this book that I've been listening to, the Women's Anatomy of Arousal. Well, one of the things that she says that I agree with was like that.
Come here. Let's see if you want to come up here.
Was that we also
That's not really a good spot for you. You'd knock the whole thing
not
over.
only are there things that are inherent in the body of knowing what to do, but there are things that can be learned from talking about these things. That's true. Right. And because we don't talk about it, people watch videos about it.
Right.
What else are you supposed to do?
Right.
So, there are a lot of things that I learn about from reading these books about the anatomy, and lots of, like, I can see how porn could be used as a tool. Right. But it also oftentimes isn't a very great tool because it doesn't really share like a lot about anatomy in ways that is helpful. It's really just like, at least the porn that I've seen, it's not, helpful in learning things about that, I feel like, but there are lots of things that the secrets of the body that can be learned and passed down, from you to me, from other women. Right. And
like sort of aunties or something, if we had a community that was, more that. And that's really like why I want to have this conversation with everybody too and share this, is because the idea is that we're building the world that we want to see, right? Yeah. And so you're going to be a mom someday, and what is the world going to look like then? It would be nice if we could ease ourselves out of this place where porn is the thing to initiate people. It should not be a place where people are initiating themselves. Yeah. And so to me, there's like, obviously, like I said, I'm not judging anyone who has had this, because I am deeply compassionate about the culture in which we're in. But to me, it's sad. It is sad that we don't have a space for this conversation. And so to me, that feels very motivating to create that.
Yeah. I feel like it can be difficult, especially if you're someone who watches porn. And I'm guessing that like, maybe, I don't know, 50% of the people
I'm sure
who are watching this, a good percent of the people who are watching this maybe don't do now, but definitely have, Right. For me, it's like, I think it's more exciting there are things that are way more exciting than porn. Just like, to do with yourself. Right. As far as, because sometimes you just think like, oh, like, I don't really know what else to do. Right. Right. What else can I do? What else is like an option? And I feel like the biggest thing for me was just finding like intentionality and presence of like, okay, I'm going to be with myself. This is my time. Especially as a single person. Right. I mean, as people who are with partners too. Right. Right. You have time with your partner, and you should probably have time with yourself too. Like in all healthy relationships. Yeah. But it's like, I'm going to carve out some time for myself. And that's Yin Care. Yeah. Exactly. Of like, I'm going to do something for myself. I'm going to listen to my body, and I'm going to be here, and I'm going to turn off this screen and make more time for myself. And you're probably going to have a better orgasm. Right. That absolutely. If that's what you want. Yeah. But it's like, a lot of people see it as, oh, if I'm not doing this, like, then it's not going to be as good. Right. I promise it is. Yeah. It's so strange because, I mean, this is coming from me. Like, I didn't even consider porn as an option. Like, it was always something the guys did, which is why I was so surprised. And now it's really not. Yeah. A lot of, but like, so to me, I created the muscle memory of what
I needed to find the arousal for myself. That being said, I was not always, I don't even think I self-pleasured until I had to be, I was after I had kids, for sure. I didn't even know, I thought that was something you weren't supposed to do, as a young woman. And so,
and I think there's still that belief for sure, but less so. You definitely see more content. You have with access to the internet,
right?
You see, if you don't see people talking about it, you certainly might get ads for a vibrator or, something. Like in middle school, I had started self-pleasuring, but definitely was not comfortable with telling anyone about that.
Right.
I wouldn't tell my closest friend,
Right.
And if I did, it was embarrassing.
Right.
So yeah, it would be awesome to have just an environment where it's, we're totally welcome to do this. It's not bad, and is great to explore. Especially one of the things that I was talking to those other women about was it's great to explore before you explore with somebody else. Yeah, to explore yourself.
Exactly. Yeah, for sure. And then on the initiation kind of phase into sexuality, I grew up in I was born in 71, but so my high school years were in the 80s, and it was very promiscuous and not really in necessarily a positive way, It was a lot of the attitude was really that women should, if I had to give a phrase that encapsulated it, it's young women or girls should put out for young men, boys, And so we did. And it's not to say we weren't getting anything out of it, but it was definitely, not formative as far as learning what was pleasurable. I guess I remember it feeling good, but I don't remember you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, but
I think
I was just wanted to share this one aspect that I was really lucky when I was in college. I had decided, I had this one sexual interaction where we had taken acid, and I could see the energy that was moving between us. And it led me to a space where I thought, this is so amazing. This is what I want to learn without any drugs, And so I pursued Montek Chia's teachings. And at the time he was before he had his center in Thailand. And I did a lot of his teachings in Berkeley, California, is where he was doing a lot of them, and San Francisco. And I met this older man there who was, probably 2 times he was probably 40 and I was, 20, 21, maybe. And we sort of had this agreement that we were going to explore these teachings together. And it was a very friendly, loving in the sense that it was this friendly, platonic, and though we both knew that there was no way there was any relationship there, and there wasn't that kind of chemistry, but we were allowed to both explore. And honestly, I feel really grateful that I had that. And so I know Luma's talked about this in the Deer Tribe tradition. There was an older man that would come in and initiate the young woman. And so I don't know how that would work, as if we were to evolve a culture to be like that. But gosh, that would be so amazing, for both men and women to have that. Because how great is it when you come together and you both know what you're freaking doing?
Right. And that's one of the things that I wanted to mention was I feel like you get infinitely more out of sex and intimacy when you know what you like.
Right.
Because you are able to share that with the other person of you don't have to figure this out.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make it any less exciting.
And so I love this about you too, Carly, is that I was explaining to you, you were sharing with me that it's been, obviously very vulnerable, but you have shared that with a partner that you've been with, and that you've been able to, that, is, an intimate partner that you're, committed to on a certain level, not like a forever partner or whatever.
Yeah.
But in any case, there's enough established that like there's this level of communication and you're able to share that. And I just thought like, this is crazy. I could never, it was so hard for me to ever say what I liked, or what, it was like, we get so hung up on this like feeling. It was like I was burdening the feeling of who I was with, feeling like it would make them feel bad that they didn't already know that about me.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
They would want to feel like they already knew all the spots and they already knew all the things, but how could they?
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
You know, how
There's
many years did I waste doing that? It's so dumb.
It is. And I feel great to have had like such vulnerable conversations of this is what I want. This is what you're not doing. This is what I want you to do. Right. And it's like, also, of course, putting that in a way of this is not your fault. Right. And that's difficult too. It's not easy to be able to bring up things that you want and aren't happening without blaming someone. Right.
Right.
But it's also, this isn't because of you. Right. It's because we've assumed, right. Because of our society that our culture is just that way. Right. We don't need to talk about it. You'll know what to do. Right. No, you don't. Like, oh, yeah. Yeah. You know what to do what you can learn is not much. Yeah. Like from our culture right now. And there's just not a lot that you could come in with. Totally. And I think like I am super grateful to have had somebody to share these experiences with that comes into it with, if no other knowledge, like with love, with sure. Like an understanding that I'm going to listen to you. Yeah. Right. You are really, and this is the thing is that I've said to you as well is you created this experience to be present. Like we have to honor the fact that at some level, frequency level or otherwise, that you have put out this and brought in the partner that you can have this dynamic with. Totally. And how incredibly special that is. Right. Right. No, there are a lot of things that I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what is helpful for me. There's just so many different parts of the relationship that work really well for what I need and want right now. Right. And it's really helpful for just getting to know myself. Yeah. In many ways of like how I'm going to interact with our cat is being barked at by the robins like crazy. Yeah. The robin is right up in the tree about 10 feet away, and Jocko's right here. She's sniffing the flowers. She's just, she likes that flower thing. It's so cute. She might get herself tangled up in there. That's okay. Yeah, we hear you, Robin. There she goes. Aw, you're stuck. Nope, there she goes. All right. Cute. We might have to unwind her in a minute, but we'll see. Yeah. Anyway. I think that's helpful. And I just I'm going to throw my own experience into the mix, and should there be anything you wish to share around this, you are welcome to. Okay. But one of the things that happened to me in high school, if you can imagine, of all the most terrible times to happen was, I was in a really bad relationship with this guy. I don't even want to give him a name because he was such a turkey, without saying bad words about him, but he basically cheated on me and everybody knew it. And then finally some people were telling me, but I ended up still wanting to be with him. And he was in college, and he was in college at UC Santa Cruz, and he was still, she's okay. He was in college, and so he was cheating on me with probably lots of other people at college. I have no idea, right? But I was still having sex with him, and I ended up getting crabs. Yeah. And I had no idea.
had no idea. I mean, you would think I would know because I was itching, in my pubic hair, but I basically, I didn't think, I don't know why I didn't think, I don't know. I was clearly totally disconnected from myself.
I mean,
but wait, so then I have my friend over, my closest friend at the time comes over, spends the night. I give her crabs because she sleeps in my bed. Then I actually have sex with some other guy that everybody loved. Everybody loved this young man. I mean, and he was a saint. And he was very Christian, and he probably shouldn't have had sex with me, and I was probably his first one, and I gave him crabs on his first time. It was awful. Nicest guy in the world. And so then I feel like everybody knows. Everybody's got to know that I gave this guy crabs and that I am like this terrible, horrible slut. It was just awful. Like I just had all of these, it was like the end of my senior year and all hope just tanked down. Right. You know what I mean? And I was like student body president. I had all these things like going on that like I was pretty well known around the school. I wasn't like in the popular crowd because I sort of, as I, who I am is to not want to be any of those things. I always like thrive on not being someone that fits into any one group, but I was known enough. And so I just felt like everybody was looking at me. Anyway, it was like the worst experience of my life. But yeah, we have to be able to have conversations that like open up these realms as well. Like totally. There's a space when we get an STD or something like that, and then we cringe because one, we feel like it's like a threatening sentence to our own health. Yeah. That we feel like it's our fault and that we are dirty because of it.
And that we've done something wrong.
We've done something wrong. And
it just further
perpetuates.
Yeah. This belief of like that having sex and being a sexual being is bad.
That you're a whore.
Yeah.
That you're a whore,
that
basically.
Like, sex is bad.
Yeah, sex is bad. And I honestly feel like, and I think I've said this in some of the other podcasts, but I've alluded to it, is that, and I've told you, I think recently, that it's really dawned on me that the root wound of it all is how we birth. That we are traumatized at birth, and that is our cervix is opening. It is a portal of bringing life through, of unifying spirit with flesh as it's coming through. And yet doctors have done everything to invade that area to try and figure out how to extract it or hurry it up or control it in some way. And so creating that level of trauma disconnects us from our body right there. Yeah. And we have that forevermore. Yeah. Talk about how nature has just been so, foundational.
I feel like nature's been really good in just like yin care. It's been sort of like, I feel like a lot of the former pieces of yin care that I was using when I was in school, like taking a bath, I guess, I'm trying to think of what else I would do. Just like, I think, your typical self-care routine. Right. Those are just things that don't feel like they do that for me as much. Because I spend so much time with myself. Yeah. That's if I'm going to take a bath, it just feels less intentional.
Well, last time we talked too, like you had gotten your snowshoes, right? And you were going to go out and explore, and you really did want to, even in the winter, make going outside be more part of your routine.
And that was nice.
You did do that.
I did, yeah. I did get to do that. This summer, it's like, I get to go on hikes and go to the river. And that's really nice because it's like it's the yin care that's really helping me right now.
Yeah.
Of like, I just would like to live my life outside.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And I feel like I'm much more in touch with slowing down. You notice, I think a good example of this I was thinking about was The Alchemist. Do you remember that book?
I do.
One of the things that they talk about that's like a big theme is the omens. And you have to like train your eye to see the omens. And they're all around you all the time. And if you just tap into that, you can start to see those things. And one of the things that like my routine wasn't totally allowing for was noticing the omens, you know? So the less that I have the structure, the more that I see things, especially in nature. So the more that I go outside, I'm like, oh, this is calling to me and this is calling to me and I'm noticing this, and it's not so much a question at all. It's just, oh, look at that. That's here for me. And I'm here for it. And so that's been definitely a big change. I think a big part of what I was having, like a routine and structure and all of those things, it's very masculine. And now I'm dropping into much more feminine of noticing things, slowing down, and seeing all of this beauty that I wasn't capable of slowing down to notice before.
Exactly.
So that's my yin care right now.
I love that. That's so good. And then can you just share, are there any books you're reading or any music you're listening to?
I'm reading
like that you
I'm reading this book by Chris Carr called I'm Not a Mourning Person, but it's like mourning as in like grieving. And it's about how to get through major life changes, losses, and learn to enjoy life again. And the way that she does that is through learning to actually feel your emotions instead of pushing them away, which is just the norm. And I think there have been a number of things that have happened for me where I've been like, I just love the way she writes because she's it's easy for me now to say to someone, well, like, I think it's easy for a lot of us to say, but yeah, just like let yourself cry, you know, but to a lot of people and to myself included before I did do that, it was like, why would I do that? You know, like that just doesn't sound, there's no reason to do that. Why would like, and so that sounds so hard. How could I do that? And she says it in the best ways of just like, yeah, I know it's hard. Like giving voice to that part where I think a lot of self-help things that want to deep dive into the emotions, they often skip over of like, this is not easy. You know, she says this is not easy and it is so worth it. And so it makes you actually go, okay, I can do this, you know, and get more out of it. Like, and learn so much more than what I ever thought would come of such a terrible event. So for sure. That's what I've been I've been reading that one.
Cool.
And it's nice it's applicable at every level. You know, of whether it's just a small loss of, oh, I'm not in school now. Which might be a bigger one, or I lost a family member, you know, and she has a lot of crazy things that have happened to her. So it's kind of nice to hear it from somebody who has had so many things happen and still is learning more through those things. So that one's cool.
That's cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
And other content, really, I think the best being just like looking at nature.
So that's your recommendation if you had to leave everybody with something?
Yeah, I think it's one thing that it's easy to listen to, just bombard yourself with content from the internet, whether it's a podcast or a
so everybody
YouTube
step
video.
outside after this, okay?
It's good to listen to those things, but it's also good to just take time and let yourself absorb the content of nature.
Definitely. Because, and what I like to always remind people is we are nature. We are not separate from it.
Yeah.
And so really
walls seem to make us forget.
Yeah. Walls.
Because they separate us from it.
100%.
And I've noticed that a lot. So
yeah,
that's a big one.
It's a huge thing that I always found when I was going through the hardest times of my life is just being able to step outside and be in whatever, going on a short walk or smelling a flower or whatever, it would bring me back in where I could be like, okay, I can go, I've got the fortitude to deal with whatever it is, you know, so.
And I think, a big part of that too, also, in whatever way that you can get outside, I think like one of the things that I love to do is just not plan a hike or a walk. I'm going to drive to the river and sit there.
Right.
And look at the water.
Right. Ooh, that's good.
And so like in that, it's a very like mindful practice that isn't, oh, I'm getting exercise at the same time. Oh, I'm listening to my podcast at the same time. Oh, I'm like doing all of these things. Like, can you just sit there?
Right.
And absorb what's going on. And the more that you do it, the more that you're like, I don't have to do anything. But it just feels good to notice the different colors in the water that are like, here, and what am I noticing? And look, there's birds over there, and there's fish in the river, and what she's doing.
What is Jocko doing? Oh,
just watching,
so
just looking.
I know. I just want to add before we wrap up that this is such a big thing for me too, being on the farm and on this property, because when I come out in the morning and I do my invocation and my morning prayers, which is usually right around in this area somewhere, but looking at all of the plants and listening to the birds and listening to the quality of the day, listening to the rustle in the trees, feeling the pulse of the earth, you know, really, I don't normally have rubber soled shoes or flip flops or whatever I've got on, you know, I'm really feeling myself connecting with the earth. And I do notice so much that the plants and the animals are responding, and you get those little gems that kind of sync you up for the day and just tell you what the day is going to have. And also because the plants and animals here know that we are stewarding this land, they're sending messages like in what's growing where, and they're doing different jobs on the property. And so I'm constantly like looking at, okay, the thistles are there. Like, why are the thistles there, and what are they doing, and why do we need to pay attention to them instead of just chopping them down and, you know, or whatever it is. But yeah, I love being on the property, but I love going out somewhere else like we've been able to do the past few days. That's been so powerful for me to just go out. We're so fortunate to be so close to Sinks Canyon, and you know what, like 20 minutes in the car and we're up there and on the trail, no parking issues, not whatever, gorgeous wildflowers, beautiful river running through, clean air.
It is
like no one on the trail, or one or two people that we run into. I mean, it was amazing. So
yeah, usually when I sit by the river in Laramie, there's a good number of people. Yeah, which is fine with me because it's fun to watch people interacting.
That's true. Too. Yeah,
there's always little kids, you know,
for sure,
digging up
so
the
cute.
dirt.
Oh, I love that. That's awesome. Yay. Yeah. Well, thank you so
get
much.
Outside.
Yeah, get outside, everybody. And thank you so much, Carly. I love you so much.
I love you too.
This was awesome. We'll do another Conversations with Carly on your next break or sooner.
Whenever.
And everyone, this has been lovely. You've been listening to the Yin Care Podcast. Again, I'm your host, Margaret Jacobson, the Mother Rising. This is my beautiful daughter, Carly Schultz, and we will be back. Bye. Wasn't that a fun interview? I can't wait to see where our next conversation takes us. I am so grateful for Carly. I often tell people that I had to birth my own best friend. Again, share any comments or questions you may have for us below the video, or complete the Contact Us form over at yincare.com with any questions or comments or anything else you'd like to share. If you feel that someone you know could benefit from this episode, absolutely be sure to share it with them. Any friends, family, loved ones, anyone you think could benefit would be great. And please be sure to subscribe to the channel and like the episode and even turn on your notifications for future episodes. If you haven't already gone over to the yincare.com website and signed up for the Womb Empowerment and newsletter, it's all one and the same. It's the first pop-up that'll come on screen if you head over to the website. And we just want to be sure that you get access to that free, great meditation and affirmation so that you can really fortify your journey to connecting deeper to your own womb wisdom. Also, be sure to check out yincare.com's Womb Wisdom Store, where Yin Care's herbal wash is available both in the 100 ml bottle size and the 180 ml bottle size. So 2 of them. We also have a high altitude sickness remedy, Altigen. It's great for hiking, challenges with altitude sickness on planes, high altitude, high performance athletics, and more. And we also sell the menstrual calendar journals, cloth menstrual supplies, and lots of other things. But what I really want to share with you is this whole new line of Yin Care products. So we've got Rue Balance. Hopefully you can see that. We've got Serena Pause. Dun, 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 dun. We've got Radiant Essentials for glowing skin and hair. UT Support. UT Clear. And all of the descriptions of what these are will be on the website. Estro Harmony. And Agile Essentials for joints, etc. And we've got for strengthening your bones, Core Bono. So anyway, it's very exciting. I think we're really fortunate because Dr. Daniel Hudson, my husband, is a practitioner. And so these are professional grade products that you're going to be able to have access to. So I'm really excited to be offering those. And I look forward to seeing what you guys think about all of them. We also have an excellent affiliate store over at yincare.com, so be sure to check that out as well. And thank you all so much for listening today. It was excellent sharing my daughter with all of you. Until next time, I'm Margaret Jacobson, the Mother Rising, and you've been listening to the Yin Care Podcast. And remember, honor yourself, celebrate your strength, and empower your transformation with your Yin Care.